Hello, how are you doing? Welcome to my brand new setup. I say it's brand new setup. It's my new room. I'm very happy with it. It's not fully done yet. We've still got a few things to hang up and stuff, but I'm happy with my room at the moment. It's glorious, and I have a lot more privacy in here, and I can actually shout if I want. I'm not going to though, but. Yeah, welcome to the brand new setup. We've got the first review in here today. We're reviewing Abigail, a movie that I was very excited to see. It's directed by the Radio Silence directors, the directors of Scream 5 and Scream 6. Two movies that I really liked, and Ready or Not as well was a movie I really liked. So Abigail, I was super excited to see what they do here. And I'm happy to say that Abigail was pretty much what I expected. Dumb fun, gory, entertaining, self aware, just exactly what I want from a movie by these two directors. The way this movie does characters is really good. They're all very flawed, they all have very horrible backstories, and some of their previous actions are questionable, but they make them likable, they make them very vulnerable. We give them backstory, and I like how this movie delivers information. It sort of there's a very clever scene with Melissa Barrera's character where she guesses what their backstories were and turns out they're actually correct. It's a very smart way of giving exposition because it needs to tiptoe around the rules that the movie sets up. I think it did a really good job with that. And I like that throughout the film, these characters become more vulnerable and more, down to earth and more relatable. If you were in this situation, you'd feel the same way as well. Of course, the main protagonist is Melissa Barrera's character. She, of course, has the more tragic backstory. We like her the most. And I like how Abigail is sort of like a metaphorical mirror of like what her past situations were and that she can relate to what she's going through. And of course, Abigail is the main star of this movie and she's great. They build some good intrigue around her for the first 40 or so minutes of the movie. And it's perfect, it's really good. But it's also the movie's biggest problem. And that's not really the movie's fault, it's the marketing's fault. Because we already know that Abigail is a vampire ballerina. Because the marketing just kept shoving it down our throats. But for the majority of the movie, it's kind of building a mystery behind her and what she truly is. But I'm sitting there thinking to myself, well, she's a vampire. So I'm already ahead of the characters, and it kind of just made that first section of the movie just drag on and on for a while. And again, it's not the movie's fault, it's the trailer's fault because it spoils it. So I feel that if you didn't know the reveal going in, you'd probably like this movie a lot more than what I did, unfortunately. However, once we got past that slow stuff, we're rewarded with dumb, bloody vampire ballerina killing action, and it's just great. I like how they did Abigail because she is a real threat. She's indestructible. She can just walk on anything. She can fly. She appears out of anywhere. You just can't defeat her, and it just kept building the tension throughout the movie because you really do feel that these characters are all going to die. But I did like that they kept that sense of, yeah, she's still a child at the end of the day, no matter how much of a vampire she is, because the way she walks, the way she talks, the way she acts when she kills people, they just did a great job with that. And this character is helped by an amazing performance by Alicia Weir. She does an amazing job of making Abigail seem so innocent and kind at first. But then throughout the movie, she goes full ham with it, goes so over the top, goes fully into the role, and I loved it. She was easily the best part of this movie, and she's a star in the making. I really hope she gets more big roles like this. And I love how this movie's directed as well. Just like Radio Silence's past films, the wacky camera work is still there at times. I like when Abigail's moving around, killing people. It's all these wacky camera movements. And I like how they directed her dancing scenes. It starts off very nice, but they get more messed up over time. But the camera work and the way they were directed made the dance seem more elegant and fancy. I just thought that was a really nice way to shoot those scenes. And I love how the directors play around with the audience with their camera placements and when you think a jump scare's coming because they place it in a place where you think, oh, there's a jump scare coming, it's coming, and then it doesn't come. And then it leads you into a false sense of security, and then the next scene, the blah comes up. They just did really well with that, making fake out jump scares work. And of course, the jump scares still have that loud bleh noise, which gets really annoying in very serious horror films. But because this is self-aware and not taking itself too seriously, it kind of just mocks the tropes of a horror movie, so you let it off. And I think the other technical aspects were really good too. I like the loud, booming music whenever Abigail's chasing someone. And I also like how the angelic music gets more warpy and messed up and weird. The more you see Abigail becoming to her true form. At the start of the movie, when she's dancing, it's all nice, angelic. And then they keep playing that same song, but it's more to show a more messed up side. I thought it was a really nice touch. The editing can be a little choppy in the fight scenes, but there's not many fight scenes to be honest, so I'm kind of fine with it. But for the most part, the editing was just done really well. And finally, the performances were all really strong too. I mentioned Alicia Weir, she's great in this. Melissa Barrera, justice for her by the way. Yeah, she was fantastic in this movie as the main protagonist. She didn't really have to produce that much emotion, really. She did in one scene, which was really heartfelt, really good scene. So I thought she just did a really good job with her character here. Dan Stevens, if he wasn't entertaining in Godzilla x Kong, he was certainly entertaining in this movie, I will say that. And Catherine Newton and the late Angus Cloud, rest in peace to him. They both did a really good job with this with their roles as well. Everyone, I think, just did really well, and all the actors had some really solid chemistry. So overall, Abigail is pretty much exactly what I wanted from a radio silence movie. Over the top, a claustrophobic, one space horror movie, which I'm a big fan of those. Yeah, bloody, entertaining, laughable, self-aware. Top that off with amazing performances, great gory kills, great fight scenes at times. It's just a really well done movie, and I'd highly suggest you see it. Please support it. It's a great movie, it deserves your time. I had a blast with Abigail. I wish the trailers didn't spoil a lot, but that's not exactly the movie's fault. But it does dumb down the grade for me, unfortunately. So I'm going to have to give Abigail an 8 out of 10. An 8 out of 10 I think is fair. It's a really strong movie. Check it out when you can. And guys, that is it for the end of this review. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you liked the new backdrop as well. I worked hard on it. So yeah, hopefully you all enjoyed that. And I hope you all enjoyed this video as well. If you have seen Abigail, let me know your thoughts on it down in the comments. Always love to hear your thoughts. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. Have a good day. And see you later.